Hey, what's up guys? Matt here, coming to you from Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. So today is the day that I've been looking forward to for a couple weeks now. We're upgrading the suspension on my CVO Road Glide ST. So every model year, Harley-Davidson comes out with new motorcycles, of course, and everyone's really excited about the new bikes every model year, but very rarely does everybody pay attention to some of the new parts that launch every year. And one of the biggest drops this year in the Harley-Davidson part and accessory catalog was the Screamin Eagle Ohlins suspension. So this year they have a full fork kit for the new generation of baggers, road glides, and street glides. Now, since I have a CVO, it already comes with the inverted front end, so I have the triple trees that will accept these new forks. If you don't have a CVO, you buy an additional kit that gets you the proper triple trees, and then there's like a brake caliper mounting thing as well that will allow you to get the inverted front forks on there. But check out these inverted Screamin Eagle Ohlins front forks, guys. These things are a thing of beauty. And we're kind of going from really good suspension to the best of the best suspension. Although the stock suspension on the Road Glide ST isn't bad at all, it's actually very, very good. I'm going top of the line, guys. I'm just kind of going all out on this bike. I've kind of been waiting my whole life to just really go all out, no expense spared on a bike. And so that's the direction I'm going with this thing. Harley-Davidson also dropped Screamin Eagle Ohlins remote reservoir rear shock as well. These are designed specifically for the new Generation 3 baggers. You know, the new Road Glide Street Glide that came out last year was first introduced as a CVO version in the 23 model year. You guys know what I'm talking about. So you can either get it in the Ohlins gold or the black. I opted for the gold just to highlight the part a little bit more. I got John Teredo back here right now, technician I always have work on my bike here at Laidlaw's HD. And so we're getting that on right now. And I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the details on the part numbers and all that good stuff. This is a genuine Harley-Davidson part, so you get all the benefits of Harley-Davidson Screamin Eagle engineers working on these and designing them with Ohlins, and the benefit of all the warranty and everything that comes with a genuine Harley-Davidson part. For years, we've done Ohlins suspension on some of our top-of-the-line builds that we've done. You guys have seen on my channel over the years. But it's always been an aftermarket company that has outfitted a front fork kit or whatever to bolt up to a Harley-Davidson. Now we have this Ohlins technology bundled by Harley-Davidson in a way that's all plug and play on these bikes. I say plug and play, but it is kind of a big job, and I think most people will probably need to get their local dealership to do it. You're no longer having to rely on an aftermarket company that has designed something to bolt up to a Harley-Davidson. You have Harley-Davidson's engineers that have, you know, perfected the fit and finish and everything that goes along with a genuine Harley-Davidson part. So we're getting that installed right now, and we're gonna do a test ride on it, and I'm gonna let you guys know what my thoughts are. Guys, I want to give a big thank you and congratulations to my guy, John Teredo, on 20 years at Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. Yeah. 20 years wrenching on these things. 20 years. John, what do you have to say, dude?
It's been a long time. But it's been fun. And I'm still here, so.
Still here after 20 years. A lot of ups and downs. Hasn't been perfect. Hasn't been perfect, but that's one of the things, guys, that, you know, shameless plug here, that our technicians have that a lot of shops maybe don't. Our guys have a lot of experience. We have multiple technicians here that have a lot of experience. So huge shout out, and once again, huge thank you to John for putting in a ton of work for the Laidlaw family, Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson.
The tube's actually longer.
The Ohlins tube is a little bit longer. Let's get a close up of that. So is that going to give us a taller ride height then?
Yes.
All right. More travel, right?
Yeah, more ground clearance.
Not ground clearance?
So much, but ground clearance.
Okay. So you think it's the same travel then?
Yeah, because the tube was exposed the same amount.
So I guess you could position it differently in the triple tree, right? And make the ride height.
Well, only within this area. So there's where the tube tapers in. So that's the top clamping area. And this is the bottom clamping area.
If you clamp it at the top, which you're gonna have to, it's gonna be a taller ride height, right?
Right. But it did have some protrusion, so I was going to set it back at the same amount of protrusion, but you're still going to have a little more ride height than what it was. Probably 3/4 to a 1/2 inch, I'm guessing.
Perfect. Okay. All right. I think my inseam will allow for a little bit more ride height. So everything's coming together nicely. John just got done bolting up the front forks to the triple trees. Now he's throwing the brake calipers on there. Just got done throwing the front wheel on as well. We got to put the fender on and put the saddlebags on. I think we're almost done. John makes good work. So just like the touch points of the adjustment, they're just so much higher quality. It's just, and this truly is race quality suspension in here. Now John's gonna set the suspension for me, which is kind of nice, just based on my weight. I do have a tour pack on the back of this bike. Tour pack's about 30 pounds. What are they, about 30 pounds for a tour pack, John? Approximately, about that. As part of the chart, when you set, you know, your compression or rebound damping and your preload and everything, part of the chart is, it factors in a tour pack if you have a tour pack. So that's kind of nice as well. So we're gonna kind of just set everything per spec in the booklet that comes with the suspension. Everything for my weight at about 210 pounds, tour pack, and then kind of go from there, use that as a baseline. I'm sure that'll be great. But of course, you know, if I put a passenger on the back, then I'm gonna have to adjust, probably just adjust the rear suspension. I'll probably leave the front the same and not mess with that on a per ride basis. The gold accents, I will say too, are very, very nice as well. I was recently checking out the CVO Road Glide RR, and I was having a little bit of FOMO. But now with this suspension, I feel like, okay, you know, I got something that, you know, maybe in a small little tiny way could kind of compare to the RR, but not really, let's be honest. All right, so adjustment in the rear shocks. So the preload is done right here at the top. Just one single disc, right, John? You just spin this. No, you don't have to do the 2 discs, so a lot quicker to do that. A lot nicer. Up here on the remote reservoir, you've got the compression adjustment right here on the knob. I'm not going to touch it because John already said it. And then down here at the base of the shock, this is your rebound adjustment. So very similar to the stock suspension in terms of where you adjust the 3 components, the preload, compression, and rebound damping, all dialed up. So I'm super stoked on riding it. It's been raining all day today, which is why I'm in like rain gear right now. But you think you're gonna be able to take it for a test ride, John?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it for. Well, is it wet?
It looks pretty dry.
Making more video?
Making more videos. Jerry Laidlaw, appearance on the channel. What do you think of the new CVO Road Glide RR?
Looks fast. Wish I could afford one.
Me too. Me too. Everyone wishes they could afford one, right? Just took it out for a first ride, and obviously we set the settings on the suspension per the specs that were outlined in the owner's manual. I gotta say the front end felt extremely good, you know, and people may say, okay, well, what is that exactly? It's just, it does well in a wide range of different things. So felt good on the small little sharp stuff, like going out of our driveway, there's a gate, there's a little railing there. Felt really good going over that. And then I brought it up to higher speeds, and it really did very well on bumps at high speeds as well. And so just it handled a wide range of different things, and just going through a turn as well, just it like sat real nice in the turn, planted, no wheel jump or hop in the turn. The front end was great. The tail end was very good as well. I do feel like I need to fine tune that just a little bit in the tail end. So I'll probably adjust the compression a little bit, probably adjust the rebound a little bit. I'll probably take it home tonight. Obviously, I'm gonna be riding it quite a bit. I'll probably tweak the suspension, the settings a little bit here and there. So far, very, very happy with it. I can't wait to ride it, you know, some serious mileage, and it looks amazing as well. So yeah, pretty stoked on this. All right, so I'm about to take the bike out for another ride. I've ridden it a few times. It's at that point where I'm just on the cusp of getting the adjustments on the suspension right. I feel like the preload is still a little bit stiff, so I'm gonna back off the preload a little bit and give it a test ride and see how that is. And I think I've got the compression and the rebounds dialed in pretty dang good. It's still a little bit too stiff, by the way. This right here is the tool that comes with the Ohlins rear shocks. It's super easy to adjust the suspension on these as opposed to those two discs. I'm going for about 19 millimeters or so in the back. So you're measuring from the bottom of this piece right here to the top of this piece right here. Got my invisible selfie stick here mounted up to my engine guard, fully extended with the X4 on the end here. Getting those 360 shots, so allows you to get real creative with your shots. I'm gonna check it out, see how it goes. So I wanted to give you guys my final thoughts after having ridden about 500 miles on this Screamin Eagle Ohlins suspension. So I absolutely love it. This stuff is just really top tier stuff. Everything from the different adjustability parameters, everything from your preload to your compression to your rebound. Adjusting it is really easy as well. Just the touch points on it, you can just tell it's really high-end, high-quality stuff. This really is racing grade suspension. So to be able to really dial in your suspension, and I feel like if you're not someone that is used to really dialing in suspension and adjusting it, ordering a set of these, and I would encourage you guys to play with it and really mess with it, because then you'll really be able to feel just the seat of your pants. Okay, I need to adjust the preload a little bit, or I need to adjust the rebound a little bit. And even though the CVO Road Glide ST has the ability to adjust those three things, your preload, your compression, and rebound, the Ohlins is just a lot nicer. Everything from the adjustment ease, you can just tell the valving and everything inside. It has a wider range of adjustment as well. I feel like with the stock suspension, I dialed it pretty good and it felt good, but it just doesn't really have as wide a range as the Ohlins stuff does, which allows you to fine tune your suspension even more with this Ohlins stuff. You know, sometimes I get asked the question, okay, what's the point of the fancy suspension and spending a lot of money on suspension? And a lot of the race guys and a lot of the guys that will ride motorcycles a lot, they'll usually tell you, if you got $4 or $5 grand, put it in the suspension before you ever even touch the motor. Good suspension goes a long long way for a lot of things. It gives you a lot more confidence in the turns at high speeds. It really just controls the weight of the bike and it controls the wheels. So one of the signs that you have good suspension and that it's tuned correctly is your wheels will always keep contact with that ground. So very little wheel hop. So when you're in a turn, you hit a bump or something like that, instead of your chassis getting disrupted and your wheel hopping and maybe losing traction, a good suspension will keep that wheel planted on the road. And controlling the weight, Harley-Davidsons are really heavy bikes, and therefore it's hard to engineer suspension for such a heavy vehicle. This stuff really has been engineered to handle an 850 pound plus Harley-Davidson motorcycle. One thing I really did notice about this suspension that makes it better than the stock stuff is just the high speed performance. Just hitting stuff at high speeds, putting the bike into a lean at a high speed, hitting bumps at high speeds. This stuff just handles it all better, which makes sense because this is a racing grade suspension. So I guess from here I just have to make a choice. Do I want to make it a little bit softer for my straight line comfort performance, or do I want to dial it in a little bit sportier and stiffer to give it that cornering performance? It's hard to have it all, but this suspension does do really good in a wide range of different scenarios. And best of all, it allows you to make that adjustment if you really want to fine tune it for any one given application. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Later. All right, so I'm back here with the new Screamin Eagle Ohlins suspension that I'm putting on my bike right now, and Stefan just happened to randomly show up from Germany, and I'm Stefan. It's okay. It's okay.
But, you know, this will end our friendship. Seriously, why did you do this?
You know, I had a good time with the, what's the name of it again? Oh, yeah, Wilbur's suspension. I had a good time with Wilbur's, but time to move on to bigger and better things, my friend. Sorry about that.
Now, seriously, they look awesome, and it's good quality, and your bike will look awesome with them. So be happy with them, and we still be friends, I promise.
He's a good sport. You know, not to take away from the Wilbur's at all, because I think they still have their application, but for a full-on racer like myself, I gotta have the Ohlins, you know?